Hey everybody, this is Bernie with Dry Creek Homestead. Today it is raining, and I don't know if you can see behind me, there's a bunch of water standing everywhere. We've had about 5 inches, well, a little bit better than 5 inches of rain since about 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. A lot of water, so the drought is over. But we need to start some seeds today, and so we're going to be starting some lettuce and some spinach seed. Anyway, so that's what we're going to be doing today. There are a few things I use. So we start our seeds. I get some Pro Mix in a bag like this, and it's not a soil-based seed starting mix. So, and then we use our 10-20 flats with our inserts. Another thing that I use is this grate, and what it is some 2x4s that I nailed together and just put some 1/4-inch hardware cloth on the bottom, and I use this tub here to screen the soil. So, oh, there's a spider in there. But anyway, so what I do is, because this Pro Mix is still kind of chunky, and so we want to fit as much of that inside the inserts as we can inside the cells. So we screen it one more time, even though it's already screened, and we're going to show you that. Okay, so what I'm going to do, we use red Solo cups, and what we do is we punch holes in the bottom of them, and when we're potting up tomatoes, we just use these because cheap, easy, and they last a few years if you put them up when you're done. So we've had these actually about, I think this is going into the 3rd season with these cups. But anyway, so basically all I do is take some of this, and you see it's kind of clumpy, and I put it in there, and it may be quicker because this is kind of dry, maybe quicker to move the thing over here so I don't spill it everywhere. Alright, so then I just take that and mesh it through the hardware cloth, and because you can kind of see there's some chunks in it, I just don't really want those in there to take up space where I could have the soil substitute here for the seed starting mix. So this is what I do to start the seeds, or the first step in it anyway. So we got our soil sifted, and what I did was I took it out of the bucket, or out of the big tub, and put it in a 5-gallon bucket here. So we got this about half full. Now I'm going to do this a little bit differently than I normally would, because I watched somebody else on a different YouTube channel. Now that is I don't know if any of you watch Luke from In My Gardener channel, but he is tremendous when it comes to gardening and tips and tricks. And so I'm going to actually try his seed starting mix that he came out with the video for. I guess it's been about a month ago, and we will link the video in the description down below. And if you've never watched Luke from In My Gardener channel, I definitely recommend subscribing to him, because he's pretty good. So what we would normally do is I would just put a little bit of I wouldn't really fertilize the soil that we put in the trays. I would just put it in there, start the seeds, and then after they come up, then I normally would come back with a half-rate liquid, something like Neptune's Harvest or fish emulsion fertilizer, you know, something like that. But so this time we're going to try what he does and see if we have better results, because we don't always have the best results doing it that way. So we're going to try this. So now what he did was he took about half of a 5-gallon bucket, what Luke did I mean, and he took about a handful. Now he used Trifecta Plus. We don't have Trifecta Plus. We're using a Espoma Organic Garden vegetable fertilizer. And so it's not exactly the same, but he just took a handful, if I can get it out of there without spilling it all over the place, and he put that in the bucket. And then he took, and I'm gonna guess at the thing, that measurement, but he took about 2 teaspoons of, these are earthworm castings, and put that in there. And then he mixed it all up. And so that's what we're going to do. So I'm gonna mix all this up, and this is all pre-moistened. That way we can put it down in the cells a lot better. Now, this is really, I'm guessing what the trick here is to mix it up really good. That way you don't have all your fertilizer or earthworm castings in one spot. So I think I got that mixed up pretty good. You can kind of smell it. It smells a little funky. So now what I'm going to do is just start, got a cobweb on there, filling the trays here. So there's six packs in this. This is just standard 1020 flat with six packs. So that's 36 cells. Trying not to make a big mess or waste any of it. I just dump it in the middle and move it out to the edges so I don't lose too much of it. And as long as it falls on the table, it's not too big a deal. We can scrape it off the table back into the tub. But then I just kind of push it down, because we want to make these as full as possible. You don't want a bunch of air spaces in them. And you can kind of see how far down. That's why you pre-moisten it, because if this was still dry, you'd never get it pushed down like that. So, and then as soon as you watered it, it would go down like this, and then you got a situation where you don't have enough soil medium in there, growing medium. So I hope the lighting is good enough. You can see we came inside because it was raining, so we're in the shop and really don't have good lights out here. So there we go, we got our tray filled. Okay, and so then, dirt all over me. All right, so what I'm planting today is, well, I've got a few different things I'm going to plant. So I've got some tall Utah celery, some salad bowl green lettuce, some salad bowl red lettuce, and some Olympia spinach is what I'm planting today. Now here in the probably next week or so, I need to start planting our tomatoes and peppers, because I need to have them in the ground by a certain date, and to be able to do that, I need to get them in the ground or planted so they start coming up. All right, so I'm gonna sit down. Lettuce seeds are really small, so then I just start placing seeds in the cells. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant half of this tray in red and half of it in green, and then I'll mark it so I'll know which half I did what to. mix the red. So I'm trying to put about 3 seeds per cell, and I'm hoping that that'll give me a good enough germination. Flip that over so I don't lose any. Alright, so then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lightly sprinkle some other more soil substitute over the top of the seeds. Don't have to do it very much because they don't need to be buried too deep. Alright, that's really all there is to it, and we're gonna plant the rest of these trays. Okay, so I got 5 flats out of that soil that I had mixed up, and I planted, there's over here on the right hand side of the screen, there's 2 flats of lettuce, there's 1 flat of the spinach, 1 flat of celery, the tall Utah celery, and I had an extra flat, so I went ahead and I planted 1 flat of the Arkansas Traveler tomatoes. Now I planted everything the same that I did that first flat on. I just didn't film everything because, you know, I didn't think everybody would want to watch me just planting flats all day, and it really didn't take all day. It took me about, I don't know, 30-45 minutes to plant 5 flats. So not too bad, but like I said, they're all done the same way with 2.5 gallons of soil mixture in the bucket. I mixed in about 2 tablespoons of the worm castings and about a handful of the Espoma vegetable fertilizer. I cannot remember what it is. I want to say it's like a 433 or whatever. It's got humic acid in it. It's got some biological stuff like BT and other things in it, and it does have some sulfur in it. It is not the trifecta like Luke on My Gardener used, because we don't have it locally, so I used what I had that I could get locally. So anyway, so the only thing I'll do to these, so the lettuce and the spinach I'll leave out here. Celery I'm going to end up putting probably on top of the deep freeze, so it gets a little bit of warmth. The Arkansas Traveler tomatoes, I'm gonna have to put them on a heat pad. And anyway, so hopefully in a few days they'll start germinating, and then I'll film that. All right, well, thank you for watching, and if you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and we'll put another video up here at the end. And so if you want to, click on that, and we'll see you there. If not, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.